We haven't seen him since Kempton, but is he where you want him to be at this stage?
Yeah, he's in good form, and we had planned to run him at Newbury, but unfortunately they didn't put his race on in the rearranged race day. But he's got 3 races experience over fences under his belt, so there was no worry about going straight to Cheltenham. We got the experience into him early in the season in case something like this happened. He's jumped round Cheltenham, Kempton, Newbury, they're all big tracks to jump round, and touchwood, he's only made 1 mistake so far.
I think his first appearance over fences was at Cheltenham. Was that on purpose, just to see how he'd take to the fences?
Yeah, it's always nice to have a bit of experience around the course, and he was impressive last time at Kempton.
Now you know what's coming next. In the run-up to every festival, we always have a big question, and without doubt this year the big question is Gold Cup, RSA, and there's no decision as yet.
No, it's we just keep all options open at present and decide closer to the time. We'd be silly to make a decision now and then find out something's happened to any of the horses afterwards. So we'll leave it till late. Main thing is to keep him in good form and then put him in the right race. Whichever race he goes in, he's got a great chance.
So it's really not a question of you going to bed one night thinking, oh, it's the RSA, waking up in the morning thinking, I think we'll go for the Gold Cup. It's not that sort of question at all as far as you're concerned.
I go to bed thinking that all the time. So luckily I've got a few other things to keep me occupied at the moment. I've got baby number 2 due any moment now, and we've got plenty of others to keep ourselves occupied. But it's constantly you're thinking about pros and cons, and novices haven't got a great record in the Gold Cup, but like I said to you before we started interviewing, the rules are set to be broken, and if you've got the right horse, that can be done.
What did you make a long run? There's been talk maybe it wasn't quite as impressive as perhaps it could have been.
I thought visually he probably wasn't as impressive as he has been in the past. Perhaps he's just racing a little bit lazily now, but the more Sam asked him, the more he responded. So you may look back at the race and say he was asked a very big ask to give Burton Port £10.
One horse who is in the Gold Cup is Junior. It sounded to me when you were in the general discussion there that you were sort of leaning towards running him in the Gold Cup because it's a good prep race. It has been in the past for the Grand National. Would that be right?
Well, it has been a good prep race for the Grand National, and there's an extra week between Cheltenham and Aintree this year. He's got the 3 options of either going to the Gold Cup, the 3-mile handicap chase at Cheltenham, or the Grimthorpe at Doncaster before the festival. So he'll hopefully go for one of those and get some experience over fences again, and he ran nicely at Newbury, got tired up the home straight, which we expected, and all roads obviously lead to the National.
So you haven't decided which prep race he'll have one more run, will he, before he goes there?
He'll have one more run. We'll enter him at Doncaster, see what the opposition's like. He's a horse that is better on better ground as well, so we'll sit down once again with the owners and decide then.
Massini's Maguire is out in front. Capper Blur continues to stay on.
Massini's Maguire won really well the other day. How's he come back? Because he's a bit fragile, obviously.
Yeah, he's a bit stiff and sore after the race, but he puts a lot of effort into his races, and he's always been a horse that hasn't come at his races great in the past, and he's a little bit older now as well, so he takes a while to get over his races, but hopefully it's nothing major, and it's possible he could go Cheltenham and Aintree, maybe just Aintree, we'll see. Next fella is Great Endeavour.
Great Endeavour, who was in cracking form earlier this season, has had a long break now. You said that he's much better when fresh anyway.
Yeah, he goes really well fresh, and on better ground would suit him as well. So he's one we're looking forward to. He's got to improve a few pounds to be top class, but he's a very good horse, and he'll either go in the Burn Plate where he'll carry top weight in the handicap, or he'll take on horses like Riverside Theatre in the Ryanair.
And that's another decision that you'll be making close to the time, is it, presumably?
Yeah, that's right, because some of the horses in the Ryanair are entered in the Queen Mother, and we'll see which way everyone goes.
Noticed a Latour who's run really well in Ireland a couple of times this season. Do you know where he might be heading? He's got a Cheltenham plan?
Yeah, he's in 3 races. He's in the 2.5 novice chase, he's in the Burn Plate, the 2.5 mile handicap chase, and the Grand Annual as well. So he'll go for one of them. Done very little wrong this season. He's a good jumper, travels well in his races, prefers probably softer ground. It's another one that is a decent horse, probably just below top class, probably high enough in the handicap now, but he still deserves to take his chance, and he finished second in the Fred Winter a few years ago.
And racing up to the final 50 yards, Blackstone Mountain has wore down the English challenger, and Blackstone Mountain and Paul Townend will win it for Willie Mullins. Notice De La Tour is second.
The form of Dinas got a boost the other day with Morad winning. Not a bad outsider for the World Hurdle, you'd think.
He's fourth favourite, I think, and if he can finish in the first 3, it'll be a great run from him. He's only 6, he's lightly raced, and we've got a big future with him, hopefully.
You mentioned taking on big bucks, that you had a plan A, that didn't quite work, plan B didn't quite work. Have you got a plan C?
Plan C is to flatten the tyres in the lorry so he can't get to the races. He's an amazing horse to do what he's done so far, and the worrying thing is for everyone else that he could do it for a few more years.
Here's Our Father charging up the near side rail now with 1 left to jump.
Another grey who's in the World Hurdle you've got is Our Father. But you were talking maybe going for a handicap with him. You think that'd be more of the plan?
He's probably more likely to go for the Coral Cup or the Pertemps. He's a big horse, so hopefully he'll carry weight and that won't be a problem. He's done little wrong. Once again, he'll be a lovely chaser next season. Lightly raced, and hopefully there's more improvement in him. He's going to have to improve because he's gone up a lot in the weights, but the form's been franked. He's 9 years old now, and he's been with Timmy Murphy's resting, and Timmy's done the groundwork, so he hasn't been back with us that long, and he's in good form at present. The plan is hopefully to go to Cheltenham, but we do need everything to go A1 with him in between now and then, and if that if it does, then we hope to run him in the JLT Speciality Chase, handicap chase, a race that he finished second in 2 years ago, beaten ahead by Chieftain George. He was off 141 that year. He's off a mark of 139 at the present moment because he's dropped a few pounds because he's been off obviously with injury. But he's an old-fashioned Irish store horse who, after Cheltenham, hopefully he may go to the National. The next fella has to come out on show because he's quite special to Pond House. He's been to the last 7 Cheltenham festivals, and we're hoping to make it 8. Buena Vista. He's now 11 years old, but as you can see, he's not showing his age, and he's won the last 2 Pertemps. He was second the year before. Been placed in the Supreme Novices. He's running an Arkle. He's done more than most of us. He's won off 133, he's won off 138. His latest mark now is 140, so it's not going to be easy, and you can't expect him to be improving at the age of 11, but he deserves to take his chance. He owes his owners, Pond House, and everyone absolutely nothing. He was in the process of running a good race at Cheltenham in the December meeting, travelling nicely when making a terrible mistake 4 out, and doing well to stand up really. He's taken a while to come out of that race, hence he hasn't been on the track since, and then we got to a stage where I said to his owner Alan Stennett, could we save him for the festival, and he was keen on that idea, to give us our best possible chance in whatever race he goes in. He's entered in everything, hurdles and fences. Got a lot of ability, and he's versatile in trip. And you know, like I say, we've saved him for the festival, one we're looking forward to. We're a little bit short in the juvenile category this year, and so at Cheltenham we rely on Caslian. Has only had the 3 runs in this country. Finished second first time out at Market Raisin. Since then he's had 2 easy runs at Fosslas where he's 1 to 5 and won very well there, and went on to win very well at Leicester. Beat nothing but did it very well. He's rated 130. He's in the Fred Winter, the Triumph and my father's race. Looks a classy horse, and you know, we like him.
The next 2, but Caslian is barely going to know that he's had a race to win here. He's in front by about 3 lengths and hard held over the hard-ridden High on a Hill. But it's Caslian and Tom Scudamore, the easy winner. High on a Hill is in second position.
He's a very good horse on the flat. Not as good over hurdles as yet. We're working on that, but battled on well at Market Raisin over 2 mile 5. He's a horse that probably likes decent ground, and he's entered in the father's race, the Coral Cup, and also the Neptune Investment Novice Hurdle, which we have if he doesn't get into the handicaps.